change, surrender offers rest, but I die for peace. William Wallace, don't need no shield. Now watch me bleed. Now watch me bleed. Now watch me bleed. Now watch me bleed. Winds of life are blowing, brings out my grave. But I will roar like thunder, and now it's not like hail. Rise and fall, broken queen. Those offered gains, but I ain't a bolt of lightning. And embrace the pain. Embrace the pain. Embrace the pain. Now watch me bleed. Now watch me bleed. Now watch me bleed.
I'll get copyrighted. Anyway, how you all been? Good? Hey? Hey, you all been good? Just before we move on, just like to thank, I won't say names, right? You all know who you are. You know, and even if you weren't people who actually reached out and contacted me, right, to see how I'm going. I know I was in your thoughts, just like you're all in mine and stuff. That's why I did this channel, right? You know. Anyway, that's the bike. Now have a look at the paint, okay? So as I was trying to get across, when you've got a paint job like this, right, that's got so many different directions going on it, right? Metal, flake, candy, you've got, you know, black cherry going on it and everything, right? Now, you some paint jobs just need to be rubbed back, right? Mark, who painted this, he did a fucking fantastic job, right? Fantastic job, right? Painting this bike, right? In the time frame that he did it in, right? And also, you'd be all surprised in the environment that it was painted in, right? Let me tell you, it was outside, believe it or not. This paint job went on, so you know you got to commend Mark for his you know, his deep passion to painting. You know, I mean, have a look at that. You know, now, admittedly, I have rubbed it back, and for Paul, right, I'll show you everything I put on the bike. Alrighty. Yep. Okay. So that's the 1200. You can see that. So I use that to start with. It's a very, very, very fine, right, but gloss. Okay. I use that on it. Now there were some, you know, overspray parts and also some other, you know, just other bits on the bike that, you know, needed to be rubbed back. And you'll get that on any paint job. It doesn't matter. Rolls Royce, they rub their cars back. It doesn't matter. Right? Right, so I was using this one, Meguiar's. All of these products are no silicon. They're no silicon, okay? No silicon products, okay? So that's a very fine cutters, you know. Right, okay. One more. Clay bar, right? Clay bar with soapy water, just lightly soapy water, right? Then once all of that was done, then I used my, this was the marble that I got, and I've got other buffs and stuff that adapted to it, so that's what I got. Right, I suggest for anyone who's got a car or a bike, doesn't matter, battery operated, comes with 2 batteries and a charger, pretty nifty, right? It was 160 bucks, right? That's without any product, right? Now you got your battery charger and all of that, so you can dial it in, right? So it's under here, just there, right? And you just speed it up. So I was working with that at around about 4. Now that battery's going to go flat, so you'll see the difference of a fully charged battery on 4. All right. All right. So that's charged. That's 4. So I was around about there, applying it, right, cutting it slowly, rubbing it, everything. When it came to putting polish on, right, these are the buffs I used. I'll show you. So I used mainly to put it on was this buff that came in it, the soft one, right. It's not wool, but you know, it's less abrasive than that one. Okay. There was a foam one, you know, that people say. So I used my other buffs, right? So what I did is to apply the polish. Now, some people use these; they're good. I find them good for cutting and stuff like that, right? But you can use them for polishing, right? Now that's wool, right? So the white one I applied, right? So I was applying. First of all, I applied that one, right? Reading that? Yep. Okay. So I applied that one, and you know, I looked at the bike, and that's when you saw the bike. The very first time you saw the bike, it was done, all done with those 3 products. And I looked at the bike, and I went, nah, it's got more to give. It can give some more, right? And it can. So again, I went back over it, and I used that again all over the bike, right? Didn't use the clay bar this time. Didn't have to. I already got rid of those blemishes and stuff. So went over that heavily with that, right? And a lot slower, taking my time, right? And I was using that, okay? I was applying with that, okay? When I was taking it off, I was just using a cloth, okay? Just a cloth, right? That's it. Cleaned it down, right, with the prep salt. Now people might go, prep salt? Yeah, prep salt. I use prep salt, right? Oh, hang on. What other product do we use? So when you saw the bike, that it was sealed off in that, okay? Right. So I did the whole bike again. Did it all again. You know? And it just keeps coming out. It's got a depth to it. So what I added then is now you have to excuse the tape because I dropped this and it's got. I'll take the tape off, right, so you can read it. So I was using this compound polish, all right. Right, using that, and I was applying with that, and I was taking off again. I was applying with this one. I cleaned it, and then I was taking off with that, another wool one, right, very soft. Now you find that with the wool, right, after a while, not so much your applying pad, but your ripping one, your polishing one, will get bunched up, you know, get a bit, you know, matted, you know. Right, you can use, I use this steel brush, right, put it on the spinner and it just pulls it off, right, just like that, right. Now when I'm applying and taking off, I wasn't using any water. All the rest of the way I had a little bit of water there, right, because I wanted to get a bit, you know, I wanted to get warm so that it absorbed in, got into there, right? So you just do that, and it comes up nice, you know. And because you don't have to worry about different dirt or anything. There's no dirt there. It's just polish, and you get all that off. It's all built up in there, right? So did all that. Then I started having a look at my polishes, and then I realised I had this. So that I put that on, polished, all finished off, yeah. Right. Then a wax. A good wax. Now I applied that very sparingly with the applying pad, and I warmed it up, got it nice and warm, and that got it working in there, and took it off with that. Same thing, builds up, scrape it off. Right, okay. What you've just seen me take off now is another ceramic coat, right? This one, right? So, you know, I've got a bit more to do here. So, you only put this on very lightly. You don't rub this in. You just, you know, and look, have a look at that. Now that's coated. Look at that. You're not going to get what you're left with the ceramic coat is what this is, right? You know. So the ceramic coat doesn't really add any shine, right? That's already been done with the wax and everything else like that. And I used the wax because it's a dark colour and I wanted it to be deep, come through deep, right? And it makes the candy and the metal flake really pop out, and it does. As you know, I mean, I'm standing here and I'm telling you, and you can see it. You know, when you're taking it off though, because it does build, it's powdery. All right, okay. That all said, how are we? We're all right. Had a mate contacted me, you know. I just want to point out first of all, right? I find it funny. I started this channel. And first off the rank was, I put a gun in my mouth, tried to kill myself. And anyway, I was looking around the world for inspiration to, not inspiration to live, not to live. I was looking for something out there to be able to make sense of what's going on. You know, I knew what was going on, but it was more to I knew what was going on. I knew what caused it. Right, I had those answers. Right, what I didn't have the answers was of someone achieving it, meaning they've got an out of it, and they've been able to get back on their feet and be functional and stuff. And I couldn't find that. And there's a lot of people out there, believe me, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of bullshit artists out there that claim to be, you know, oh, they've done it hard, they've been to jail, and then, you know, they're bad upbringing, whatever be the case, you know, right? They're red flags to me. I tend to look at the ones that are more, have a bit of a better word vocabulary, right? Than done it hard, went to jail, you know, stuff like that. And able to string a sentence together, and also someone who you can just look at and you know that they have looked at history. They've looked back, you know. Because when you're suffering or you're winning, either which way, it doesn't matter. Whatever your accomplishment or your failure is, whatever happened to you, whatever's happening to you, right? There's no looking forward. And I mean that in the sense of this, you know, you win $10 million, right? You look forward, what's there? Nothing. I'll tell you what's there though. Everything looking forward is there for you to buy, and you'll be broke. That's what will happen, right? What you got to do is you got to look back. What have others done? What have others done to save this money, right? Same thing with wars. Same thing with boxes. Same thing with laws in courts, judges and lawyers, they go to and fro and they're bringing up old cases and stuff like that. Everyone has to go back and see, and you'll find there is something out there for whatever you're going through, right? That's what I thought. But this, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find any way. Guidance. I knew how I'd gotten there, why I'd gotten there, what brought me there, why I was thinking like that, why I was taking the drugs, right? Not drugs, the drug. How I was taking it, I wasn't off my head. And I was in here. And I had my computer and had my bikes, you know, my trinkets, and there was nothing. There was I couldn't find anything. What I kept on finding though was a lot of this. If you had support, either via your friends, family, or people, right, and you were broke, you're fine. You got support. But I mean the support where just not they're there to pick you up. The support where they're there and they have an understanding of what you're going through. Not just support that I'll lean on me type thing. I mean a true support. You're actually you're stumbling around and you know that, which can be very embarrassing. And especially if you know that everyone in the room is not going through and has never been through anything like you. So it is embarrassing. So there's no one to look at to get a sense of, you know, understanding of no one knows what you're going through, even though they're all there to help. That can be torturous because no one knows, even though they're there to help. In your mind, it's just embarrassing, you know. And you know the next question is going to be why, how, what's going on. They don't know. They don't know. They want to know, and I don't diss them for that. But it's just, you know, and there was nothing. That's why I stayed in here for so long. I worked on myself, and to be able to articulate to Mary and to people around me
properly so they could understand. I knew I had a big fight. I had a big fight ahead of me, and I thought I had my fight. I hadn't had my fight yet. The fight is you fall down. That's all on your own. That's all on your own. It's the getting up, and then having to keep your frustrations under control with people that say they love you and know you. This could be friends and family and stuff like that, and to only find out that they don't really know you. They do love you, but they haven't really gone deep inside you to know your little mannerisms, and like some of us do with some people, friends even. You know, we pay a lot of attention. We know they don't. A friend or a partner could just rock up, and we know something's good or bad. You know, just by the way they're walking, even not their face. What they fling in their hands, you just know, you know. And I knew that was going to be hard because, you know, I don't show a lot of emotion in regard to what's in me, but I never had this before too. So don't. It's not. This isn't something that stemmed back from a child. So I really had to take reins on myself, as you do, to understand this, to be able to put it into words. And you're going to have to come back many different ways, and using different words and sentences and putting those words together and different scenarios that mean the same outcome for them to understand. It can be frustrating. It can and you also have to keep a rein on it too, because you are a teacher now as well as a sufferer and a fighter. But you and they're not hurting, but they are sort of hurting. And you're going to hurt more when you find out that they don't really know you, and you're going to have to suck that down. You go, oh yeah, because you're the one that's going to open this cage, right? And you want to talk. So be prepared to know how deep someone loves you. And for those people who do say you love somebody, or you're mates with somebody and stuff like that, make sure you make it known to how far you know that. Like, you know, don't tell them, but just in their way, so that you both understand. Oh, okay, so that doesn't dissipate the friendship or the love, right? What I'm saying is that might be as far as a person can see. Do you know what I'm saying? But they don't have that fortitude. They're not born with it to be able to look right at, you know, something. You know, some people need a brick to hit them in the head to know it's a brick. You know, so be prepared for that, because that can be very that can send you back. That can just send you back to and further down, and for a lot longer. You don't want to come out, because you have to say it in a way. It can be embarrassing. It sounds silly. You know, you sound like a fool. But you're going to have to do it. Right, you have to do it. You know, and be prepared for that. And also understand this, that you might also find out who really loves you, who is really there for. And while you're doing that, you'll also probably find out just how much they maybe played a part in your you know, partial demise, or something failing, you know, that you didn't see before, because now you're that low. When you're that low, you know, you just like, you know, people think you're not paying attention, but you are. Even though we're like this, our brain, our body senses are off the Richter. I mean, the wind change. I take even Mary's just facial gestures, the tones, which are all very important, and they all do lead to that avenue. You can go down a path where, yes, that tone or that type of gesture, it means this, or just how they, you know, how they approach things, or even look at you at a quick glance. So be aware that you might see some things that, you know, you didn't think that were there. And those ones are going to be different because you haven't asked, you've seen it. And then you're left with that. How do you bring that up? How do you deal with that? You still haven't even gotten to the original problem. You know, yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. You know, Steve, I met him through, you know, Danny and on a ride and stuff like that anyway. He reached out to me and he invited me down to the club to meet the guys. And I'll tell you this quick story, right? There's a couple of them there. Anyway, so I went down there and it was the week before I was going to America. And he just wanted me to come down and see the guys, you know, and everything else, you know, JB, you know, yeah. You know, it's just, you know, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's nice, you know, that people recognise me and stuff like that. But what's nice about it is they recognise me for just doing something that no one's doing. I've looked everywhere. And that's what helped me. It really did help me. I thought, well, no one's doing it. I actually don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how to start this. I don't know what foot to put forward, how far to put it forward, how heavy to land it. I don't know. This is all new. It's brand new. Mind you, I'm the type of person where to talk. I'm going, even now, I'm going against the grain. It's not a man thing. It's like a Sigma male type thing. You know, not alpha, Sigma, right? Yeah, so, and that doesn't diminish what I am as a person or a man or whatever my strengths are. But I had to battle this myself. I had this fight with myself, telling myself, no, we've got to do this. We have to do this. There's people out there suffering. Men and women, boys, young men, they're suffering. And as I said, I've led a pretty, you know, colourful life. I've seen a few things, yeah, and a lot of different scenarios, and not only that, I've also met people that have come from other things that maybe I haven't seen, but I've experienced it through them, and they're talking. So I've got a bit of a handle on what you might be going through. That's like our school teachers years ago. You know, Mr. Wintle, we all knew 2 + 2 = 4, yeah? But he used to turn around and say, how did you get to the 4? The road travelled, you know? No one travels the road anymore. Everyone just wants the answers like this. And they're not there. And the ones that are there, you know, they're not necessarily the right answer. So anyway, I said to myself, I said, I've got to do this. I've got to, there's people out there, there'd be a lot of people out there suffering. You know, how to come back from it. Now, I'm not saying that people are going to welcome you with open arms. They're not. In some cases, a lot of cases, they're not. And you're not doing it for that either. That's the other thing. You got to have that in your head too. You're not doing it to be welcomed with open arms. You're doing it for yourself. But greater than that, you're also doing it to show others. That's where you get your strength. It's not the people that aren't broken, patting you on the back. Good on you, you did it. It's this person. So I was at Steve's bike night, and I'm sitting there, and this one last member comes in, Greg. I'll never forget it. Anyway, I'm looking at him, and Steve goes, "Oh, Greg, this is JB, you know," and he goes, "Oh," and Greg, he did not let on that he was already one of my subscribers. He did not say a word. Anyway, that intrigued me because he came in different, totally different. You can see, he came in on his own. Didn't ride his bike, but he had all his gear on. And I'm talking to the rest of the guys, you know, which are all, you know, I won't say normal, but you know, they're themselves. But this one over there, you can see even on his best day, he'd sit on his own. He wouldn't be. He's not one to sit, you know. So, but I'm noticing something else there. There's something else there. So I did go over to talk to him, but not for long at all. And I said to him this. I said, mate, you know what? Sorry, I didn't get to talk to you too long, right? I said, but when I get back, right, we're going to talk, yeah? And he's gone, yeah, okay. Just like that. Anyway, I said to Steve, I said, that Greg bloke, I said, yeah, I want to keep an eye on him. There's something about, there's something not right. There's something not meshing right. And anyway, Steve, he puts his hands up straight away. He doesn't understand mental health. And the best thing about it, like with Steve, is I said to him straight out, and he said, no, I don't know anything about it. And you know what the best thing that he did, the best thing that Steve said, and I told this to someone else in front of Steve. He doesn't want to know. He just wants to know what to do when someone's, and it can happen. Someone to know the sign, just to know the signs on what to do when they're. And I said to him, I said, that's the best answer. I said, because if you told me that you want to know, I said, I'd get up and walk away. I'm sick of telling. I don't even know myself, and I'm telling myself this. And I'm going to talk to someone else who wants to know, and there's nothing wrong with them. Like, and then of course a little foot in my head goes, fucking hell, you know, I'm not an amusement park. I'm not here for people's amusement to come and fucking poke me and fucking, oh yeah, that does that, and you know, no. I said to Steve, you know what, the best thing you can do is just being here like you are, being yourself, and listening and talking. I said, because even though people like us, right, we like to talk, we can talk. And the reason why a lot of people don't say that they've got issues, right, or things like that, or they've done something like what I've done, is they don't want to be ostracised. Don't put him under too much pressure. But I can go to work, and I can run a room of 4,000 people, nightclub, no worries. It's no stress. It's no stress. You know what's stressy? Sitting in here, right, polishing that, and I've got someone there going, and pick at someone else who's not helping, not a delegator either, but just going, oh yeah, and they're touching it, you know. Or they're talking to you in a stupid conversation while you're doing something like that, right? And Steve, anyway, so getting back to Greg. So I rang Steve up and I said, and he said, no, I don't really talk to him. He's a bit quiet. And I said, no, there's something wrong with that bloke. Anyway, no shit, before I flew out. So Steve had given me Greg's Facebook account. No worries. So, and I got a comment on a video, one of my videos I did. Now I have the Facebook account that's just been sent to me, and I'm just reading this comment, right? And it says this. This is what it said. JB, it was good to meet with you and talk for that little time we had. He said, you stopped me from doing something silly. And as I'm reading that, I've just gone, and because I was in the midst of typing, and the penny's dropped. It's too late. It's the same bloke. I rang Steve. I went, hey Steve, mate, listen, you might want to get hold of Greg. Yeah, this is what he's just. And I did for that. When something like that, that's not personal. That's all. That's it. You got to jump on that. And I've done that many times. You would have seen me, a young kid over in America with a drinking problem. You know, immediately. You know, and stuff. Anyway, I spoke to Greg before I left, and he said, hey, you said to me that you'll catch up with me when you get back. So when you get back, I'm all right. I'll wait until you get back. Now I can't say that I saved his life. I can't say that at all. I don't know what he was going to do. what's silly. But when you're looking at a moment like that's written like that, he's watching my channel. Anyway, so that was one. Anyway, I told Steve, and he's like, and you know what Steve said? This is what Steve said. He said, Justin, he said, you can see it. And I can. I've always been able to see it. Long before. I just want to make this quite clear. I've made one attempt on my life. One. And I fucked that up. It was a fail. I've never thought about suicide before. Never. And this is where I say, in regards to suicide, why you do it, when you do it, how you do it, whatever you do it, you have to take them. You just can't ignore it. You need to understand it. So I wasn't born into a wealthy family or anything. I was born into it. I wasn't wanted at all. My grandmother brought me up. My auntie Pat brought me up. And so I wasn't wanted at all. But that's why I can sit here and I can say this. Because I wasn't wanted. I didn't know. I didn't know what love was. Because it wasn't there to greet me. But I learned what it was. I know what love looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, and just what it is. On the basis of this, I had no love. No one wanted me. My grandmother didn't want me. My auntie Pat didn't want me. They didn't. They weren't giving birth to me. And they didn't have to do what they did. And they showed me love. Real love. So I know what love, all about it. And when you learn it like that, you really appreciate what love is about. It's not big things. Anyway, so I've been, because I've experienced life pretty much on my own as a child growing up. I was not a naughty boy, wasn't even a cheeky boy, believe it or not, because my grandmother was my mother. My auntie Pat, they were old. I couldn't run. Grandma couldn't have caught me, so I held her hand. And because of my mother, and that everyone being careful around my mum of too much affection towards me, because she would just pick up and take grandma and me away. And she did that a couple of times. Anyway, so I spoke to Greg, and Steve said to me, he said, you can see it. He said, Steve said, I know it's a shit thing to say, he said, but you've been there, you know that look. Yeah. I've seen it a lot. I've always seen it. Anyway, so, you know, that was Greg. And then Steve rings me up again. He goes, I've got this other kid. I've got another one for you. Rick. He's a lot younger. Greg's, you know, I'm 53. Greg's a bit older than me. Now, so this kid's in his 30s, you know. Anyway. So I go there and I just do my thing. Whatever. Just talk. Let them go. Anyway, Steve's sitting there, and this is the first time he's actually watching it, right? And there's no routine with what I do. I go there as me, and I just listen, and I say things and stuff, you know. And so at the end of it, you know, Rick, you know, he's just looked at me, and he said, "How is it that I can understand?" You know, and it's like this kid in America, same thing. He said, how is it that I can understand you and you understand me and like you really understand what I'm going through and he stopped for a minute and I said, keep going. And he's gone, I said, keep going, come on, keep going. This is where it's going to help him. It's going to help others. Because I'm that real. I am. He said, you've been through that and worse. Yeah, maybe. And he can see in my eyes that this is all I've got left. This. Helping others. And he got it. And it really sunk. That someone, what sunk with him is this. Someone who says, I've given up. I have given up on life. I have given up. To aspiring to anything. To wanting anything. I've just given up. What I haven't given up on is this. Passing on the knowledge that I have and the experiences I've had to be able to help others. I won't stop there. That's what I'm doing now. So when that runs out and there's no one for me to see or help or sit down and want to talk, you know, and my comments prove it on the ages of the people, that they're young, they're old, they're alcohol, drugs, whatever be the case, you know. They get it when someone is sitting there and I'm there for him. I'm not getting paid. Sort of ride. But they actually get it because if I wasn't there, I was going to be dead. Gives me purpose. This is why you're going to fucking listen. You know, you're not wasting your time. I've given that up. And that's what he saw. That he saw, I've given up. But I've not given up on helping others. And that's what I say to people. You can't help people by trying to understand them like Steve. I said, Steve, don't try and understand this. Just be there, like you are. And Steve was fantastic, you know, in saying, I don't know what to do. I don't understand nothing. I said, good. And he didn't say, I want to know. He didn't say that. You don't want to know. You know, because it's hard to put into words. So yeah, so I spoke with Greg when I came back, and I spoke with Rick, and you know, helped a lot. I've helped a few people, met up with a lot of people. Andrew, it's great. You know, and yeah, it's been really good. I hope it continues. I hope you all endeavour to find me more people to talk to. You know, I think a lot of it, we need to get rid of the practitioners out of it, and someone real needs to be sitting down in front of someone, and they can see that's been through whatever. There's a sense of grit, grime, dirt, you know, bit of blood, bit of pain, that they're sitting there with someone who's feeling it, maybe worse, but they're there. That's enough to have that person go, it is. You're important. Everyone's important. So that's my purpose. Thanks for listening. And yeah, hope you liked the bike. Hope you liked the intro. Like and subscribe. So I've got to take the rest of it off. You know. Yeah. So I'll be doing that. Alright. I love you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Go get it.